My sister forced me to walk with my assaulter at her wedding and banned my boyfriend when I refused. My sister Hazel had always dreamed of the perfect wedding, but I never imagined she'd sacrifice my safety to achieve it. When she announced I'd be walking down the aisle with her fiancé's brother Brett, my stomach dropped because this was the same man who'd sexually assaulted me in a restaurant bathroom 2 years earlier during a set-up double date. Brett had followed me into the women's restroom, cornered me against the wall, and put his hands on me until I managed to push him away and lock myself in a stall until he left. I told Hazel immediately that night, but she dismissed it as a misunderstanding and claimed Brett said I'd come on to him, which was absolutely not what happened. Every family gathering since then had been torture, as Brett would stare at me, find excuses to stand near me, and make inappropriate comments while everyone else ignored the obvious predatory behavior. When I explained to Hazel that walking with Brett made me deeply uncomfortable and reminded her of the assault, she exploded into tears, claiming I was trying to ruin her wedding and steal attention from her special day. Her fiancé Dylan insisted on the pairing arrangement, which felt like a deliberate setup to force me into physical contact with someone who'd already violated my boundaries once before. My brothers Caleb and Matthew immediately saw how wrong this was and voiced their objections, but Hazel doubled down by banning my boyfriend Dylan from attending if I continued to resist her demands. She gave me an ultimatum: walk with Brett and smile or lose my bridesmaid position and have my partner of 5 years excluded from the family celebration, all while my teenage brother's girlfriend remained welcome at the event. The family dynamics became toxic quickly, as Hazel launched a social media campaign painting me as a jealous sister trying to sabotage her happiness, reaching out to extended family members with lies about my selfishness and victim mentality. When my brothers and I tried to present evidence of Brett's predatory history at college, where he'd been kicked out of his fraternity for multiple sexual assault complaints, Hazel and Dylan refused to listen and accused us of fabricating stories. My parents took the path of least resistance, asking me to just keep the peace for one day, rather than addressing the fact that their daughter was being asked to physically touch her assaulter while her longtime partner was banned for supporting her. The gaslighting reached its peak when Dylan told me I had a victim complex and that Brett was just being friendly, completely rewriting the narrative of what had happened in that bathroom. I made the painful decision not to attend the wedding, choosing my safety and self-respect over family harmony for the first time in my life. The wedding day proved my instincts were correct when Brett sexually harassed a teenage server during the reception, causing multiple staff members to walk out and guests to flee as his pattern of predatory behavior finally became undeniable to everyone present. The venue shut down the reception early after Brett physically confronted other guests who tried to protect the server, while Dylan continued making excuses and trying to pay people to stay quiet about his brother's crimes. My cousin Rachel, who attended the ceremony, publicly called out Brett's behavior during the reception toasts, leading to chaos as half the wedding party and guests realized they'd been enablers in a cover-up of serial sexual assault. The aftermath revealed the full extent of the brothers' conspiracy when Hazel discovered messages on Dylan's phone showing years of covering up Brett's assaults, including payments to silence previous victims and photos Brett had secretly taken of me at family events. Dylan had been encouraging Brett's obsession with me and looked forward to the processional as an opportunity for his brother to touch me against my will, treating my body like something they could access through manipulation and family pressure. When Hazel finally left Dylan after seeing evidence of his complicity in his brother's crimes, she wrote me a letter acknowledging that she'd always known the truth about Brett, but had chosen her fairy tale wedding over her sister's safety, an admission that came too late to repair the damage to our relationship, but validated everything I'd tried to tell her.